Hey everyone, it's FinalRound and my name is Jordan, and I'm not too upset with the results of the in-depth analysis. We had Wendell Carter Jr. came up one rebound short. The data was there, and I did mention that Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero could potentially come out of nowhere and get a bunch of rebounds when they haven't been over a long stretch, and they came out and they got a bunch of rebounds. Wendell Carter Jr. just needed to get one of those from them. And then Jokic made it look easy. He scored a ton of points. That was a pretty easy read. And then those first quarter props, I know some people were getting mad at me because some of them were missing, but the whole idea of it is that they are props with high hit rates that have good payouts. So they're props that you could basically single bet every single time, and if you're going to be in the green if you keep taking them and single betting them, or maybe potentially parlaying a couple of them together. If you put them all together, yeah, there's a chance some of them are going to miss. So those went 3 and 3, and it is what it is. And I'm not bothered that people were upset. I'm still going to have that section because there are people who know how to utilize that data, and I'm not going to penalize those people for just sharing information. The picks and the research come first, and then I'm just going to give those high hit rate, good payout first quarter props. But you will see images that come up on the screen. Those will be from a data app called Outlier. There'll be a link in the description that'll give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. But let's start with teams on the back-to-back. So with this in-depth analysis, I will not be taking a player on a team that is on a back-to-back due to obvious reasons. There could be tired legs, missed shots. Even if the matchup looks great, I'm still not going to take a team or a player on a team on a back-to-back. So we have the Hornets on the road against the fresh 76ers. The Pelicans will be at home against the fresh Blazers. And then the Jazz will be at home against the fresh Timberwolves. So my first pick is going to be Cam Thomas over 22.5 points at -125. He'll be going up against the Pacers, who give up the 6th most points to the shooting guard position over the past 2 weeks. So he returned from injury. He scored 31 points, 29 points, and then 21 points. He went under in that last game. I took a look at the rankings, how those teams performed against the shooting guard position. So 31 points was against Charlotte, who actually gave up the 3rd least points to the shooting guard position. I was surprised by that. Then he dropped 29 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who give up the 13th least. And then when he scored 21 points, that was up against Orlando, who give up the 6th least points to the shooting guard position. So tough matchup there, and he was just one basket away. So now he has the Pacers, who are a good matchup, and they have the 5th highest pace in the league in March. A lot more opportunities, a lot more possessions here. So I did a lot of analysis on him. He takes 9 of his 20 attempts that he's been attempting in the paint. I like that he's attacking. He's not just being a jump shooter. The Pacers rank in the top 5 with giving up shots in the paint, and they're top 10 in percentage made in the paint. So that's good to see. And then I tried to find players that the Pacers have played recently that you can compare to Cam Thomas. And I know these comparisons are going to be a little wonky because Cam Thomas is just a different type of player. But they played Anthony Edwards recently. He is a guy who will attack. He took 35 shots and scored 44 points. So Cam Thomas averaging 20 shots a game over the past 3 games. So you could basically half that. 35, let's call it 17, and then half his points, you're at 22 points. So then you add on 3 shots, and now you're going over. And then they played against the Bulls, and they went into overtime. You have Caruso and Ayo Dosunmu, who are shooting guards. They attack and they shoot threes, but combined they shot 16 for 25 with 43 points. And then Kyrie Irving played against them, and he shot 8 for 19 with 23 points. Just a different angle to look at it. I know they're all not like Cam Thomas, but still the Pacers aren't really shutting many of these guys down as of late. And if you guys could, please like the video. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You can say anything. And a lot of people will literally put anything, and I appreciate that. So thank you to the people who comment. This next pick is gonna be Isaiah Hartenstein under 8.5 rebounds at -113. The Kings give up the 4th least rebounds to the center position over the last 2 weeks, and they give up the 4th least rebounds overall. Now you might be thinking, well, okay, that's pretty interesting. The Kings, they play at a pretty decent pace. Yes, they do play at a pretty decent pace, but as I mentioned previously, you get rebounds when people miss shots. And if you're not missing shots, there's not a rebound opportunity. And the Kings are shooting the 3rd highest field goal percentage in March. They're scoring, the ball is going in the basket. There's not any rebound opportunities. And Isaiah Hartenstein, this line's pretty high for him. He's gone under in 8 out of the last 10 games. He's averaging just 21 minutes. And a lot of other guys are getting 40 plus minutes. And now that OG is back, he's going to get in the rotation more, could knock more minutes off for Hartenstein. And then there's also the potential foul trouble of being someone who has to guard Domantas Sabonis, who's a very skilled center. Guys like De'Aaron Fox attacking the rim. So that's a quicker one, under 8.5 rebounds for Isaiah Hartenstein. And this third one's going to be Jared Allen over 17.5 points at -122 up against the Rockets. Rockets give up the 7th most points to the center position. So this one's pretty interesting. I was first looking at Darius Garland. I was looking at Donovan Mitchell points, and I settled in on Jared Allen. So I looked at the Rockets and I looked at all kinds of data on the Rockets and how many open shots they give up. They're very tight with defending. They don't give up many open field goal attempts. They're very good at closing out. That's why they don't give up many assists to teams. So guys like Darius Garland are kicking the ball out. Those shooters are either taking a contested shot or, they're passing it to the next guy, and then they're dribbling, and then they're passing it to the next guy. And it just made me think, where's the ball going to end up with passing the ball around. And I think potentially they find Jared Allen for an alley-oop or a layup or something like that. And the Cavaliers, I watch them a lot. They do a lot of pick and roll with Jared Allen, and the Rockets recently lost Alfred Sengun for possibly the season, it looks like. Unfortunate injury. And the Rockets now, without Sengun, their offensive rating has gone up, but their defensive rating has gotten worse. I know it's just a small sample size, but they only have 2 true bigs on the team. It's Jock Landale and Jabari Smith Jr. And they have Dylan Brooks, who is 6'6", starting at the power forward position. So with pick and rolls that the Cavaliers love to run, they can easily get Jared Allen on a mismatch and get Jabari Smith Jr. Stuck on a guard, and Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell take him off the dribble, and Jared Allen's right there with someone much smaller trying to guard him. So he's going to have a really good matchup here against a lot of these guys. Looking at the screen, I know I'm talking a lot, but looking at the screen, you'll see he went over this for 4 straight, and then he had 3 misses. I took a look at those games. You got to find out, well, why did they miss? So 2 of those games were blowouts, and he didn't play as many minutes as he normally would. Probably would have went over. And then one of those was against the Suns. It was a close game, and the Suns actually give up the 6th least points to the center position, so it was a tough matchup. He still got close, but he didn't quite get to this line. And for player comparisons, recently, without Sengun, the biggest player they played against on the Washington Wizards was Kyle Kuzma. He shot 8 for 10 and scored 23 points. He took 1 3-point attempt and missed that. Then they went up against Victor Wembanyama without Sengun, and he actually only scored 13 points, but he shot 7 of his 12 shots from the 3-point line. Jared Allen will not be doing that. So Wemby's not the same type of center as Jared Allen, obviously. Then they played Domantas Sabonis. That was the game Sengun got hurt. He shot 10 for 11 for 25 points with 0 3-point attempts. I think this is all lining up for Jared Allen to have a pretty good game. scoring. Before I get into first quarter props, I want to shout out my partners, Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard. Use promo code FinalRound11 on any of these. They'll match your first deposit up to $100, and Sleeper does it up to $500. There'll be links in the description that'll take you straight there with the promo code, and thank you to anyone who uses those. Now for the new section that's not going away, and you don't have to take any of them if you don't want to. It's called first quarter props. So there are plenty of first quarter props that have high hit rates, but the payouts aren't worth it at all. And I search on Outlier for good hit rates where the payout is worth it. And it's definitely good for a single bet. If you parlay them all together, the odds are definitely against you. So this first one's gonna be Jonathan Kuminga over 0.5 assists. It's gone over in 8 out of the last 10 games. It's at -113. Second is going to be Jared Allen over 0.5 assists over 8 out of the last 10 games. This is at +110. And then Domantas Sabonis over 2.5 assists. It's gone over 7 out of the last 10 games, and this is +115. And that Jared Allen and Sabonis is because the teams they're facing, don't give up many assists. Give me Andrew Wiggins over 2.5 points. He's gone over 8 out of the last 10. This is at -113. Fifth, Dennis Schroeder under 0.5 rebounds, gone under in 7 out of the last 10. This is at -101. Scary one to take, but if you bet it 10 times, you're in the green. So that's just the whole point of all of these. And I hope that you can utilize that to your advantage and not get angry at someone for sharing it with you. So if you'd like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there. Conversations going on all day long about the lines. And if you do well with these and you feel like giving back, I have a Cash App and Venmo in the description. You can donate back to the channel, and thank you to the people who do donate. So we'll see how day 2 of the in-depth analysis goes. This does take a lot of time looking at all of this data, but I do have a lot of fun doing it. So God bless you all. It's Final Round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.